Hello and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Millie and I like brushes. As you can see, I counted and there's 185 brushes to get through today. So I really want to dwindle this down a bit. I'm not going to be probably getting rid of half. We'll see. But I would really like to just get rid of the ones that I know I don't like. I've already done a couple of brush declutters. I believe I did one last year and then one in 2019. And I did kind of put some aside to try out further. So I'm going to be doing the same here. This is going to include all face brushes and eye brushes. So everything together. And this really should not need to be said, but please do not ask me in the comments to give you the brushes that I declutter. All right, let's get right into it. So let's first go through my face brushes. I feel like I don't have that many, so I'm probably not going to be decluttering a lot of these, but there are some that I know that I just don't use. For example, right here, this is a Senna angle contour brush. I bought this quite a few years ago now, and I don't think I ever reach for it. I don't love it. And then on that same note, this contour brush from Billion Dollar Brushes, I think I've used it for foundation and I just don't really reach for it, so these two are in the declutter pile. Next up is this giant Morphe M439 brush, and I use this to actually apply self tanner back when I used to do a little bit of that in the summer. But this is actually a really great foundation brush, so I'm gonna be keeping this one. It is a little stained and I just cannot get it out no matter what soap I use. Next up is another foundation brush. This is ColourPop F15. I'm gonna put this one into the maybe pile. I do feel like I haven't used it in a while, so also couldn't get the foundation out. But that one's going in the maybe pile. Talk about some of these kind of smaller brushes. I have quite a bit. So then we have number 4 from Alter Ego. This is relatively new to my collection and I actually really like this. It's really nice for setting like smaller areas on my face. So I'm going to be keeping this one. And then these two are actually the same exact brushes from Spectrum, but they just have different colored bristles and handle. And I specifically bought these brushes to use for cream blush, and I love them for that. They're also great for cream contour or bronzing, so keeping both of those are lovely. And I do like to have a couple of options for different brushes so that they're clean, so I don't have to obviously keep washing every time, or every few days or once a week. So next up is the ColourPop F32 brush. This is also part of a bundle. I honestly don't remember the last time I used it, so I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because I do want to try it out a little bit before I decide if I want to declutter it. Then we have the ColourPop F20. This is my absolutely favorite cream product brush, also part of a bundle. I really wish they sold this separately. I believe I said that in the last brush declutter, but I love this brush. Next up, I have some brushes I use for highlighter. This is a Clionadh stained glass collection brush, and this is actually a blending brush, but it's too large for my hooded eyes, so I like to use it as a highlighter brush, and I love it. I use it all the time. Next up, we have 2 more highlighting brushes. This one's just a little bit fluffier and larger, longer bristles. This is from Wet n Wild, and I'm also keeping this one. I do like this one. However, this Hakuhodo and Sephora Pro collaboration brush is also a highlighter brush, and I don't really love it. It's kind of big and I just don't reach for it. I know what you're thinking. I haven't decluttered much yet, but just wait until we get into the eye brushes. I feel like I have a pretty curated brush collection for my face, but it's my eye brushes that really need some decluttering. So next up is the number 3 Alter Ego brush and the ColourPop F21 and the Sephora, I believe it was 49. Yes, this one is probably like 5, 6, 7 years old, so this is a little wiggly, but if it comes off, I'm just going to glue it back. This is a great contour brush. Love this one. Definitely keeping it forever and ever. So then we have these 2 left. I don't love this one from ColourPop. It's just like a little bit flimsy. I do use it sometimes for cream products, so applying cream bronzer and stuff. So I do like it for that because it doesn't pick up a lot because it is so soft and the bristles are really bendy or flimsy is how else I would say it. So I'm gonna put this one in the kind of try out further, but I don't think I'm like in love with this one. And then this one's pretty new to my collection. This is the Alter Ego number 3, and I actually really love this one for powder, bronzer, and contour, so I'm gonna keep this one. It's extremely soft. These brushes from Alter Ego, oh, they're so soft. Next up are 2 Zoeva brushes. This one is the 222 Luxe All Over Shader, and I actually use this to set my under eyes. This brush is so old, and I can definitely tell it's a little bit prickly. The tips have kind of snapped off a little bit, but I just will not give this one up, but I do plan on buying at least another one and possibly getting rid of this one because it is so old. It's not as soft as it used to be, but I'm keeping it for now. And then this is the Luxe Cheek Finish Brush. This is what is great for powder blushes, so I'm keeping this one as well. Next up, let's talk about these brushes. I mostly use these under the eyes to spread concealer. This is from Spectra B03. I don't think that it's specifically meant for that, but I love it. It's really nice and small, and it really is great at stamping the concealer and spreading it out. Plus, it's synthetic, so it's just great for cream, so definitely keeping this one. Then there's this random Glam Light brush that came with one of the paint palettes, and I love this for concealer as well. It's even smaller, and it's like a little bit angled, and it's so great for getting into the crevices of the under eyes, and as well as also any spot concealing and just pushing that in and spreading it out. So keeping that one. And then we have the It Cosmetics dual-ended brush, and this one is for foundation as well as under the eyes, and this one's also great for both. I love this brush, keeping this one. And then we have the Artis Oval number 4, and this one is so good for concealer and getting right under there, so also keeping. Do I need all of these? No, but again, I like to kind of switch in between so that I don't have to keep worrying about washing my brushes. Since we're on the subject of Artis, this is the Oval 7, and this is a really great foundation brush. However, it is such a pain to wash because the product just really gets in there, and it's such a pain to wash, and it also takes quite a while to dry because it is so dense. But I'm going to be keeping this, and I do like it. I just know that every time I use it, I'm going to have to wash it pretty much like right after to try to get all the foundation out. So let's talk about some powder brushes. I have quite a bit here. So definitely got to be condensing this down. This is the Alter Ego number 1. I love this one. Super soft, keeping for sure. This one I'm not sure about. I don't think I use it that often. It's a little bit flimsy. I don't love the shape. So I think it's going to go in my maybe pile. And then the ColourPop F18. I don't like this one at all. I don't like the shape of it. It's not really something I like to use on my face. When I do set my foundation, usually just around like the perimeter of my face so that my hair doesn't stick to my face. This is another Zoeva brush. This is 104 powder, and I love this. I've had this for a long time. I believe this is a synthetic brush. It feels like it. I do like this one, and I do like the shape, so I like having that as an option. Then we have the ColourPop F29. Honestly, I don't really love this shape. I still feel like I'm trying to figure out how to use it properly. So I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because I do want to kind of try it out a little bit more. Then we have the Her Mannerisms kind of setting powder brush. This one is definitely the smallest one I have. This one came free with an order a long time ago, and I do actually really like it when I do just want to kind of spot set and I don't want to just go all over, and I do like that it's flat at the top. Next up is this Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter brush in J03. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I used this. I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile because I feel like maybe I should try it out before I declutter it, but it's probably going to get decluttered. Then we have the Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki brush F79. Honestly, this is way too large for my under eyes, so I'm not really sure why it's called concealer. I could actually probably apply foundation with this brush. I don't love it, to be honest. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. This is the Furless Giant brush. This is loose, as you can see, and I don't mind because I've had this for quite some time, and if this ends up popping off, I'm just going to glue it back on. I love this brush. It's a really dense and very flat top brush. I love using this to set my face. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Furless went out of business, so you can't get that brush anymore. This is a random Milani powder bronzer brush, and I love using this to set my face. I also love that it is flat at the top. It is it's got longer bristles, and it's a little bit less stiff. As you can see, there's just like less movement, but I do like this one as well as an option. Same with this Alter Ego. Really nice, very soft, great for setting the face, and not too big. Oh, I did forget one more brush. This is the Esam T38 brush, and it came free with a Vizier palette from Muse Beauty Pro. It was like a bundle deal, and I actually love this for cream contouring, so I use this pretty much every time I do my makeup, so I'm definitely keeping this one. So first up, let's talk about these teeny tiny brushes. We have two Sigma brushes. These are the Wing Liner EO6. I absolutely love these. I do have a video up where I reviewed some Sigma eye brushes. Specifically, they're smaller blending brushes. So I will link that down below if you're interested. So I do love these for a winged liner. These are super great. Next up are some other brushes for eyeliners. And these are, as you can see, actually painting brushes. This one is the Suva Beauty brush. This one is really nice. I'm going to keep that one. Between all of these, honestly, this one is so tiny. It's actually kind of hard to like use. So, and honestly, I don't know if I like love all of these. I think I'm gonna put these in the like maybe pile. And then this one, I don't like this one. Something about this just doesn't really go well in trying to like dip it in and then use it. I feel like the product just like piles on like down here. So I think I'm going to declutter this one. Next up are these two silicone applicators. This one is from Huda Beauty and also has a sponge tip applicator on the other side. Definitely keeping these. I love both of these. And I found the other angled brush. So I do like these, but honestly, I don't ever use this one. So I'm going to declutter. That one's from ColourPop. And if I mentioned, this is a Morphe brush that came in a set. I used to use this for my eyebrows. I don't ever use powder for my eyebrows anymore. So I think I'm going to be decluttering this one. I don't use angled brushes that are large like this anymore. This brush is from Dose of Colors. It came in, you know, those like little, I think it's like 6-pan palettes. I don't care for this side of the brush, but I do really actually like this side, and I do use this sometimes. So I'm going to be keeping this brush. And then this is the Sigma Detailed Lip. Again, I don't think I use this. I think I maybe sometimes use this to like connect my lower lash line with the outer corner. With like a matte shade. So I think I'm going to keep this one because it is a nice detailed brush. Next up, I believe this is another frillless brush, and this is just like a brush like this and then a comb, and this is actually pretty pointy. I keep stabbing myself accidentally when I have this in my brush holder. I'm going to declutter this because honestly, I don't remember the last time I used this, and I just don't really have a use for it. I think I've sometimes used it to separate my lashes if I use the mascara for the first time and it was really clumpy, but otherwise, I just don't have a need for it. Next up is another frillless brush, and I love using this one for my inner corner highlights. I'm definitely keeping this one. Then I have this really random brush from Bdellium Tool 731, and I'm not really sure, to be honest, on why I have this brush. So I'm going to put it in the maybe pile, but I know there was a reason I bought this. I just haven't reached for it. Next up is this Kaleidos Blending Brush S2. While it's a really nice blending brush, it's nothing wrong with it. It is just a little bit too large for my liking. And if I'm going to keep a brush that is this large, I'm going to keep a different one that I prefer. So I'm going to declutter this one. Next up, let's talk about my Spectrum brushes. These are all the eye brushes. I do have a review video up where I talked about all of these. I did end up buying during a sale sometime last year. It was like 50% off, and these are already pretty affordable. So they were even cheaper. I believe they were like $5 or $6 on sale. And so I ended up getting some doubles. So I got these 3, which are basically doubles of these 2, and then these smaller blending brushes right here, and then these are a little bit larger. I don't honestly love these like huge ones, so I think I'm gonna declutter these 2, but I do really like all of these, and that's why I have 3 of these and then 2 of these. So next up are these Makeup Shack brushes. I got these a long time ago. I absolutely love these 2. These are really small, as you can see, compared to all these other ones. These are the T63. I love these. I was going to do a dedicated video on these because I feel like nobody talks about Makeup Shack, and they have so many different shapes and sizes of blending brushes. It's really amazing to see, especially that are synthetic. They do also have natural hair brushes, but those I found to be pretty much the same quality as Morphe, and I wasn't a fan. I feel like they just kind of got really scratchy really quickly, but these are amazing. I've had these for some time. It looks like I have, these are actually 2 different ones, T36 and T87, but they look almost the same. I'm thinking of actually maybe decluttering this one. It is just a little bit on the larger side. I do still like this one because even though it's larger, it's like flimsy, so I kind of know what to use it for, while this one is just like, I don't love that one. Next up are these 3 Esom brushes. I believe one of these was in a bundle, again with a Vizier palette. These 2 are the S33 and this is W23, and I really love these right when I got them, but I don't think I've really reached for them. I think I'm going to put them in the maybe pile. I feel like I need to refresh my mind before I fully declutter these. Okay, I did not realize I had this many ColourPop brushes. Oof, there's quite a bit. These 2, actually 3. I have 3 of these. Oh my goodness. These, I don't think they sell anymore, actually, with these pink handles and the brown bristles. But these are, what number are these? Actually, they don't have a number, but I love these. You can never have enough of these kind of flat shader brushes to apply shimmers with, so I'm keeping all of these. This one is from their, I believe, Stone Cold Fox or something brush bundle, and this is the E25. I love this. This is amazing for shimmers. It's a little bit fluffier, so it's not totally flat like this other brush, and I love this for a little bit like flakier formulas. This is so great. Then we have this smaller brush. This is E26. And this one, I actually don't think I use that much. It's a little too short, like right here, and it's really stiff. So I'm going to declutter this one. And then we have the ColourPop 3, and this again just a really nice flat shader brush. This is a little bit thicker than the other ones with the brown bristles, but still good. Then we have this ColourPop E21. Honestly, don't think I use this one. I'm just gonna declutter this one. This is another great shimmer shadow brush. This is E18, and I love this one. Definitely keeping this one. Next up, we have these two really small, kind of flat brushes for detail. I think these are great. This is E29 and E20. I think all of these are from bundles. So I'm sorry, I don't know if you can buy these separately. Then we have another flat shader brush. This is E3, super great. Then there's the L1 brush. I love this for like detailing underneath the lower lash line, so keeping this one. And then this is the E26. Honestly, don't think I use this one. Again, really short bristles. I guess it's kind of nice for the lower lash line, but I just think I prefer other brushes to this one, so I'm going to declutter this one. Next up, let's talk about some of these slightly randomer brushes. We have the Cozzette number 10, and this is just a really nice small blending brush to really get up in there. It is pretty flimsy because the bristles are pretty long, but I do like this one as well as this other Cozzette brush. This is the S185, so you can see kind of the difference. This one's even tinier. I do wish they were just like a little stiffer, maybe shorter, but I love the size on these. Then this is a random Sonia Keshuk. This is like an eggplant bundle of brushes that they sold a long time ago. This is just good to have. And then this is the Helen E flat brush. And this one is really large. Go for spreading out eyeshadow primer all over the lid, but I just don't really reach for those, and I have other brushes I think I'm going to keep for that, so I think I'm going to keep for that purpose, so I'm going to declutter this one. Then we have this really nice small Kaleidos S5 brush. I love this for under the lower lash line, so definitely keeping this one. Next up is this random blending brush from e.l.f. and I don't like this one. I had like a smaller one with black bristles, and also it wasn't really great at all. And then here's a shader brush from Glamlight, keeping that one. Morphe Y21 from, I think this was like a gold handle bundle or something. This is a great for underneath the lower lash line, keeping this one. This is a flat shader brush from AOA. Honestly, I think I prefer some of my other brushes, and I think I'm getting to the point where I have enough flat shader brushes, so I'm going to declutter this one. This is a Cliona brush from the Stained Glass collection. Also keeping this one. I really like the shape of that one. This is a small tapered blending brush from Bdellium Tools. I really like this one. It's a little bit like fluffed out, but it's still small enough for me to like for my hooded eyes. Then we have these two P. Louise brushes, and we have like a flat shader brush and then a small blending brush. I'm also keeping these two. And then we have another flat shader brush. This one's a little bit larger from the Cliona Stained Glass collection. I'm going to keep this one. Next up, let's talk about these two synthetic brushes. This is Hakuhodo I142 and 26S from Wayne Goss. Honestly, I don't really reach for either of these. Something about this brush, I just don't really care for it. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the shape. I don't like the way that it works when I use it. And then same with this one. In general, I am not the biggest fan of these types of brushes like this where they're flat and they're kind of wide. That's not really my preference for blending eyeshadow in the crease, so I'm going to be decluttering this one as well. So then we have Alter Ego eye brushes. These I got from their bundle with the face brushes. These are super nice and soft. However, this one I already know. I don't have a use for that one. It is a little bit larger, this blending brush. Super soft, really nice, but again, too large for my liking. This one I do actually like. This reminds me of the BK Beauty brush. This is the 205. It's pretty much the same, but it's even smaller, which I even actually prefer, so I'm definitely keeping this one. We have another flat shader brush. This one's really stiff, so I think I'm going to let go of this one. I just feel like I prefer some of the other flat shader brushes that I have. And then this is number 6 Alter Ego. This is a little bit of a larger blending brush. I think I'm going to put this in a maybe pile because I don't love it because of the size, but I'm going to try it out. So speaking of BK Beauty, we have these 3 brushes. They have a bunch of other, I know I had 2 other eyeshadow blending brushes. I do have a review video up of all of them, and they were just really, really large blending brushes. They were not good for my hooded eyes. I was not a fan at all. The quality is amazing. They're super soft, but I just did not like them for my eye shape. This is the 203. This is an amazing brush for picking up shimmers. Definitely keeping this one. This one I love for my lower lash line. And then this is the 205, so a little bit larger than the other brush. I almost feel like I don't need this one now that I have the Alter Ego and it's just a little bit smaller, which is exactly what I was talking about in my review that I wish this one was smaller. So I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. All right, we're almost done. We have a couple more brands. I think I'm just going to clump those together. So here we have the Beautylish Yano series. I do have a video up where I kind of demoed these and played with them. Honestly, I haven't really reached for them since then. I really, these are so extremely soft. Like, oh my god, it's just like air is literally like touching and blending your eyeshadow. But this is the only one that I've really gotten use out of, and I love using this for my face for highlighter. So I'm going to keep this one, but I'm just going to declutter these because they are just a little bit on the larger size. This point really just, it's just not like the way I like to apply makeup. I feel like I would have to really force myself to learn how to use it and to like kind of incorporate it into my eyeshadow application routine or preference. And then this is just a little bit on the larger side, so I'm gonna be decluttering all three of these. So I do have a bunch of refer brushes. These are all the brushes I have. Some of these are doubles of the same style, so don't get fooled. But I'm going to be doing a dedicated video sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. So I'm not going to be decluttering any of these because I will be talking about each of these and also demoing them. So definitely subscribe if you're interested to hear my thoughts on these, or if you're already subscribed, make sure you turn on your notifications. So these are definitely staying. So here's some more random brushes. This is a Morphe brush, also from a set, and I love this for cutting the crease, and it's just a really nice flat smaller shader kind of brush. Then we have these AOA brushes. This one I really like for my lower lash line. It's similar to the ColourPop one. This one, honestly, it's really stiff. I don't really like this one. I'm going to declutter this one. And then I did miss one of the Yano series brushes from Beautylish, and this one is also a little bit on the larger side. It's just so extremely soft, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to keep this one. This is also that style of blending brush where it's kind of flat and but like flares out, and I just don't really reach for that. So then we have my Sigma brushes. Again, I have a review up, so I'm not going to be talking too much about them, but I do like all of these. These are the smaller type of brushes. Smaller size type of brushes. I do have two of these because I do really like these for my lower lash line to connect with the outer crease. I'm going to be keeping both of these. This is also a really great cut crease, smaller kind of flat shader brush. And then honestly, I'm just like on the fence. This is again just like that shape of eye brush that I just like don't really care for. So I'm going to put these in the maybe pile. Like sometimes I'll reach for them, but it's just like I feel like I have other better multitasking brushes that I could just use. I just feel like, will I really miss this if I declutter them? So I'm going to put them in the maybe pile. And I lost this Ultra Ego number 11 brush. This is great for underneath the lower lash line. So again, keeping this one. Some brushes that kind of do similar things, I kind of like to have doubles of them, just again so that I don't have to keep washing them. Then I did keep this Sigma brush. It's supposed to be one of those smaller ones. This is the Firm Blender. It's just like, it's pretty large. I used to like this for cream products, and I think I'm going to declutter it. I think I'm ready. I think I don't really use it enough and don't reach for it enough. And then I'm going to be keeping all three of these. These are nice and small blending brushes. This is a random Chikuhodo brush I got from Beautylish. It's kind of a little bit on the larger side. I don't think I really reach for this one that much. I'm going to put this one in the maybe pile. Then we have these two MAC brushes, MAC 242 and MAC 239. I don't really love this one. I'm going to declutter this one, but I'm definitely keeping this one. I love this one for shimmers. We're almost at the finish line. These are my Zoeva brushes, and I really like most of these. However, this one is really old. I don't know if you can see, but kind of like at the bottom of here, you can see that I've really used and washed these quite a bit. So I'm going to declutter this one. It's a little bit scratchy at this point. I've had it for probably at least 4 years, I would say. Really like all of these, and then love this one for my lower lash line. And then this one, honestly, I don't really use this one that much. I'm going to declutter this one. This is the shape 225. Next up, let's talk Sonia G. Listen, it's not that the quality is bad. There's nothing against the quality. I just don't care for these shapes. Like, these are not my kind of preferred shapes, and now I know they were created specifically for shapes, and they have directions on how to use these, but it's just like not in the way that I do my makeup. So I'm going to be decluttering all of them except these two because these are nice and small. This is the flat definer brush. This is amazing. And then this is the mini booster, which is the smallest so far of all the blending brushes I have, and I really like this one. But yeah, all of these other ones, I just don't love. Maybe this one, it's just like, I don't know. I think I'm going to put this one in the maybe pile, but these two are definitely too large for my liking. I know I haven't gotten much use out of them, and I know I won't in the future either. Next up, we have some Wayne Goss brushes. I really like all of these, except honestly, I don't think I really use this one, number 18, much. I love these ones, and I actually plan on getting more of these. And I was going to do a dedicated video on these and the Sonia G, but I just feel like it's too late and nobody cares, so I'm not going to. But I feel like Rephr is still like quite a bit talked about, and they still keep releasing new brushes. Meanwhile, these other two brands, not so much. And I just know I don't like the shapes of Sonia G. So I think I'm going to declutter this one. And then I'm going to put number 17. It is a little bit on the larger side. I'm going to put this one in the maybe pile. Last up are these Hakuhodo brushes, and I love Hakuhodo brushes. Some of these are definitely on the little bit larger side, so I'm not going to be keeping all of them. But overall, I love them so much. So these two are really nice, smaller type of brushes. So this is the B5511, and this one actually rubbed off. I've had these two for quite a bit. I think I actually got doubles of this one. I don't know where the other one is, but I definitely had two of them, unless that's the original. I thought I got a backup. Anyways, definitely keeping those. This brush is the J5523. This is similar to the Wayne Goss one that I just don't really find use for, so I'm going to declutter this one. I love this brush. This is the Hakuhodo something 004G. This one is great for shimmer shades, so definitely keeping this one. This is the J242. This is amazing for shimmers. I love this brush. It picks up shimmers super easily. Such a great brush. Next up, this is I5607. This is actually a synthetic brush. I don't really use this one, so I'm going to declutter this one. And then these two brushes are amazing, J146 and J5529, I believe it is. I think these are doubles. I love them so much. Definitely keeping all of these. Then we have this larger J5522 brush. This is way too large. I sometimes like to have these kinds of brushes clean to just kind of like feather out the outer edge after I've done some blending, just to kind of further help blend those edges out. But I already have a large one from Rephr that I think I'm just going to keep, so I think I'm going to declutter this one. Let me put this one in the maybe pile because I'm just like undecided, because I love Hakuhodo so much. And then we have these brushes. This one's a little bit on the larger side. I think I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. And then these two are nice and small, so I'm going to be keeping these. This is the B142 and, oh, these are both B142. So I'm going to be keeping these. And then lastly, we have the J5533. You can see, like, I've had this brush for some time. It is stained at the base. I'm going to keep this one as well. All right, so let's go through the maybe pile one last time before I tally it up. I think I'm just going to declutter these. Let's see, where's the other one? I think I'm going to keep this one in the maybe pile. I think I'm going to declutter these two. They're just like a little bit larger, and I prefer not to have darker brushes because I do like to see kind of what color I have on them. And then let's see what else. I think I'm going to declutter this one. Maybe this one. I'm going to put this one aside. I'm not sure. Do I need this one? Am I really going to use this one? I'm going to put this one aside. I just feel like I don't really have a use for this one. I'm going to declutter this one. I'm going to also end up decluttering this one. I'm going to keep these just to try. And then I'm going to declutter that one. And let's see, what about these two? I'm going to put them in the maybe pile, I think. Declutter this one. Declutter this one. I think I'm going to keep this one in the maybe pile, maybe pile. Maybe pile, and then I don't know. I don't remember honestly the last time I used this brush. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try with some cream products. This one I just don't really understand what this is for. So I'm gonna put it aside, and then I'm gonna put this one in the maybe pile. So let's tally up the final decluttered pile. Alright, so I've decluttered 47 brushes out of, I believe I said 185. I feel like I was hoping for a little bit more, but I think I did it pretty good. I think I'm just gonna keep kind of decluttering as I'm using some of them and just really try to dwindle it down to like the absolute ones that I love to use, that I reach for the most. And I'm also going to be trying out the other 13 that are in the maybe pile, and I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know what some of your favorite eye brushes, face brushes, what have you are. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's lots of 80 makeup, lots of shiny, sparkly, and shifty eyeshadow content only on my channel, as well as some brush reviews if you're interested in brushes, so you don't want to miss out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.